The Mohawk community of Khanasatake has been fighting the illegal dumping of toxic waste, contaminating their waters there for years now. And progress is slow to come, if at all. Now, this sounds like something out of a movie, but it is not. It is quite real. And here to discuss the issue and to tell us what is taking so long is Maître Frédéric Bérard, Doctor of Law and political commentator, who has just returned from holiday. Maître Bérard, thank you for taking the time.
Thanks to you, Joanne.
Okay, so this is a lot of people might not even know what has been going on, but from my understanding is just a continuous dumping of toxic materials in that community there, and that it is affecting water and potentially making people sick. How does something like this happen?
Well, actually, that's a pretty good question. I was pretty surprised when I read the article you sent me about this. Especially because the company is keeping going, even though they lost their license to operate. So this is something that smells very fishy, let's say that, especially because they don't want to talk about it. So what is going on right there, I don't know. But I think that an inquiry from the federal minister of the relevant ministry would be quite necessary and ASAP.
So there's so much comment going back and forth, right? Because obviously nobody wants tensions to increase over there. People want everyone to have access to clean drinking water and clean air. Earlier, the MP for Rosemont, La Petite Patrie, has said actually that Khanasatake inhabitants have been denied the basic rights to breathe untainted air, and that no one should endure the torment of an environment poisoned by an illegal dump. Now, this to me, Maître Bérard, does sound like something that would have happened many, many years ago, and it's happening now. What does this say about our current relationships and behaviors with our Indigenous communities?
Don't forget, Joanne, that there is something like 40 Indigenous communities across Canada that do not have access to clean water.
Wow.
40 communities. Maybe it's 37, but I think it's close. It's maybe 40, but anyway. And the answer Minister Macmillan gave about this was that, well, we're trying our best. We're going to try to find a way, but we've been hearing this song for quite a few years right now. So can we accept as a society that we leave some communities behind and we refuse to provide them with the right resources, especially when we know that Canada, on the international basis, is blamed year after year because of its treatment towards Indigenous people. I think this is a shame, and I'm very happy that we talk about it today because our politicians have to understand that there is no second-tier citizen in this country. We're all equal, and we need to have access to the same resources, especially when we talk about clean water.
And this recycling company here that was stripped of his license, as you mentioned, back in 2021, is being, they're saying that this is negligence, allegedly indifference. La Presse actually described the contaminated water as a toxic river where the site is. So how do you see this, where do you see this going? Because, we all would think that, okay, we know that this is happening now. This has to stop now. There has to be cleanup sent out now, but that's not happening. So where do you see this going?
Well, actually, I'd like to remind to our Indigenous friends that they have some legal action that are possible right now. They can easily sue in a civil way. They can sue the company. This is also criminal potential here in terms of the action that are posed by the company itself, in the sense that you can put somebody else's life in jeopardy.
Yeah, and because of the health issues, there's so many health risks.
Yes. So they can, they have, there is the civil ways, but there is also the criminal ways. So they have legal actions that could be undertake very easily, in my point of view. And I would invite them to do so if they want to, because it's going to probably be the best way to resolve that matter.
So obviously, this rings, alarm bells and brings back memories of the Oka crisis as the tension begins to build up there. Earlier this week, so Quebec police set up a surprise operation against this illegal waste dumping in Oka, but failed to warn the Khanasatake Band Council, which, did not sit well with the Grand Chief over there, who said that this was basically too little, too late, and the fact that they were not informed was not a good start. What do you make about what the Grand Chief, Victor Bonchfield, had to say?
Well, it's hard for me to criticize because I don't live there. I don't know all the details, but frankly, something is wrong about that. I mean, it doesn't work like this. You cannot accept that. And I'm going to give you just an example, just for the fun of it. What if the same situation was happening in the Plateau Mont-Royal or Outremont or Rosemont or Laval or whatever? What would we say? Let's say that there's a company who lost its license that keeps, contaminating water in those areas I talked to you about.
We would be in the streets. We would be in the streets. It would be an outrage, yeah.
Yeah, and the politicians would, they would be go like crazy, and that would be the right way to react. So why is it always like that? Remember the problem they had I think it was there was another Indigenous community somewhere in Ontario a few years ago, and somebody asked Jagmeet Singh, a journalist asked Jagmeet Singh, okay, but what would be the cost of providing clean water to that community? And Jagmeet Singh respond, would you ask me the same question if it was about Toronto? How much it costs? What is the cost of that? Who cares? I mean, it's going to cost it's going to cost what it costs, and that's it. So I mean, this is what really make me sad in a way, in the sense that we have double standards for Indigenous communities, even in 2024, even though we have decided a few years ago to try reconciliation and dumping money and all that, we still accept double standards, and this is unacceptable.
Well, we'll have to see where this is going again. Mark Miller's, the Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, Mark Miller, did say that they're calling for an independent inquiry into the illegal toxic waste that's been happening there for the last 2 years. We'll definitely have to follow up. Maître Frédéric Bérard, thank you so much for your insight. We'll speak again very soon.
With great pleasure. Thank you.